Hello everyone, welcome back to another informative video. This is part 2 of our series on how to set up the exo vertical hydroponic system. If you haven't watched the previous video, I suggest that you pause this video and watch the first video, and that video will show you how to assemble the system. Basically what you're looking at now, how to get it to what you're seeing now, right? So in this video we are going to plant our seeds, and what we are going to do is we are going to plant our seeds directly into the system. Of course, you can always choose to plant your seeds in, maybe you have a little nursery or something like that you want to start your seeds and then transplant it into the system, but we are going to do everything within the system because some people might not have a nursery. So we are going to use this vertical system as our nursery and grow out here. And when I say grow out, I mean growing the plants to maturity when you're ready to harvest them. So now we have the water in the system. We are going to plug it in and see how it works. So we are going to plug it in right here, okay, and what is happening, as you can see, the water has gone up, right? But even though the water is passing through the hose, we still have some restriction, right? And it is going up. If we should pull one out here, we'll see that the water is coming down, right? And as you can see in the net pot is gradually getting wet, right? So that is what we want to see. But what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to cut the hose to the proper length to just take out this crimp out of it, or it's more than one crimp down inside the bucket. So I'm going to just cut the hose to the right length so we can just have a one consistent flow instead of too many restrictions at different parts on the hose, right? So I'm going to do that and get back to you. Right, so I've cut the hose, right, and it is much better. It is flowing, the water is flowing much better. Alright, let me just plug this out so you can see what I'm talking about. Right, so we no longer have the crimping and the bending going on. Right, as you can see, okay. So now what we're going to do is show you how the flow is happening, right? So you can understand and appreciate what is going on. Let me plug this back in. Just give me a second. Okay. So if you look at the top here, this is a dial, or it has a knob that you can turn, and if you turn it, you can basically adjust the flow if you don't want it to be flowing as fast. This is the maximum flow of this shut off valve basically, and you can turn it clockwise to reduce the flow, as you can see, right? And if you turn it all the way off like that, then you'll shut off the flow of the water, right? So you want to open it, and as you can see, the more you open as anti-clockwise, the more water will flow, as you can see, okay. So we leave it fully open, right, just to ensure that our seeds will get enough water when the pump turns on. We're going to fill our bucket with a known amount of water and then add our fertilizer. Now this bucket actually holds 6 gallons of water, right? You can see the water level is right there, and remember the cutout is right here where the electrical cord will go. So it actually holds 6 gallons of water, right? So now we are going to add the fertilizer to this known amount of water. Remember we have 6 gallons, so we are going to look at the fertilizer that came with the kit and see what the instructions are. So basically this is what the instruction is: 3 teaspoons for the entire pail upon setup. Alright, so here I have my teaspoon. I'll just dip my teaspoon in. Alright, break up these large lumps. Okay, this is one teaspoon. Okay, this is 2. We have 3 teaspoons, right? That's our 3 teaspoons of fertilizer for the entire pail. Okay, so I'm just using this pipe right here to mix. So once you have finished mixing the fertilizer and ensuring that everything has dissolved, it's now time to measure the pH of the nutrient solution. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I have here a HANA pH EC combo meter. It measures pH, it measures the concentration of the nutrient solution, and it measures temperature. So what it's on now, it is on the pH mode. So you'll just press this pH button, right, and it's in pH mode. And right now what you want to do is leave your meter to sit for about a minute for it to settle, right? Don't just dip your pH meter into the solution and take that first reading. Just allow it to settle a bit, right? And as you can see, I'm basically getting a pH of around about 6.1, 6.2, right? And based on what I've been showing you and teaching you, a pH between 5.5 and 7, right, on the pH scale, that is basically okay to grow your plants, right? So right now I'm measuring 6.2. It's just bouncing around a little, but it's generally going to stay within this zone, right? So I'm quite okay with the pH. So now that I'm okay with the pH, I'm going to basically back the cover on the bucket and go on to the next section, which is basically putting a timer onto my system. So what we are going to do now is we are going to plug our timer in. This is a timer, right? This is what it looks like, and let me just open it. Right, this is what it looks like. It's a very simple timer, right? And it has 2 outlets right here. Okay, now this arrow right here, this arrow should always be pointing to the current time. So when you, upon getting your timer, you are going to ensure that when you plug it in, so we are going to plug the timer in. I have it plugged in, right? And I need to know what the current time is, right? So I'm going to check the current time, which it is now 3:33 p.m. in the evening. I'm going to spin this dial until it reaches 3:33. Now each one of these lines, they are 15-minute interval. If you realize where 3 o'clock is and where 4 is, so this first line is 3:15, the second one is 3:30, the third one is 3:45, and the fourth one is 4 p.m. So that is how you can break it down and know how much each line, how much time it is. So if I put the dial on and watch the dial, if I put it right there, it's saying 3:15, but it's now maybe about 3:35 now. So if I put it right there, it's basically 3:30, right? So now it's saying 3:35, right? And what we are going to do now is we are going to use these pins. These pins that you see right here, they can go down, like that, right? And they can go up, okay, like that. When the pins, each pin, when they are down, they are basically they are activated. So whenever this arrow is spinning, because on a daily basis this dial will be spinning based on the time, whenever the arrow spins and goes onto one of these dials that are down, the pump will turn on. So what we are going to do is we are going to set our pump to come on. So the dark side is basically night and this lighter side is basically daytime. So right here is basically 7 a.m. This is 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. This is noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. and that's how it goes. So I'm basically going to set my timer, my pump, to come on 8 o'clock in the morning. And when you put down one dial, it's basically going to run the nutrient solution for 15 minutes, right? If you want it to run longer than 15 minutes, you can put down 2 dial and it will run for 30 minutes. But I'm only going to run it for 15 minutes, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my nutrient solution for 15 minutes every hour. So as you can see, on 8 o'clock I have one dial down. 9 o'clock I have another dial down. So it basically comes on 8, it runs for 15 minutes, and then it doesn't come, it turns off. These that are up, as you can see on the side, right, they are up, those represent off time, right? And then it comes on 9, so I pushed on dial at 9, then it comes on, well, this is not 10, this is a little past 10, so I'm going to push this one down right here, and then I'm going to take back this one up, right, push that one down, okay? So it comes on at 10, and then I'm going to have it coming on at, say, 11 right here, right? And then it's a little past 12, but that's okay. It's close to 12 basically. So I have it coming on there, and then I have it at 1, then at put this one down right here, take this one up, right, 2, and then I have 3 o'clock right here, right, and then I'll put 4 right there, and then put 5 right there, and basically that's how it will come on. So it comes on at 8, then for 15 minutes, then it comes on at 9 o'clock for 15, 10 o'clock for 15, 11 for 15, 12 for 15 minutes, 1 o'clock for 15 minutes, and it goes right around like that until 5. At 5 p.m. I basically stop watering them, because the the sun has gone down, and they are not going to be using up as much water and photosynthesizing as much, right? So during the night they don't need the water like during the day. So, and then of course the root plugs will basically absorb some nutrient solution as well to keep them through the night, right? So this is how the timer is set up, and of course I'll basically close this back. Plan today is pak choy or bok choy. Now remember, inside the box we got some other growing materials in it, and this one is called the exo root plugs. So these are the root plugs that we are going to use. So we are going to plant our seeds directly into these plugs, right? So all of these kits should have root plugs, and this is what the root plug looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, and I'm going to put one root plug per net pot. Okay, just like that. And as you can see, it has, get a stick just to be more accurate, it has a hole in it, and that is where you are going to put the seeds, right? That hole that is in the plug. So let us continue putting the plugs. So now that we have placed all the root plugs into each net pot, we are now going to take the net pot with the root plug and put it somewhere to stand, like right here, so that we can insert the seeds into the root plugs. And it will look something like this, right? So you put them to stand up somewhere level like this. We are going to put one seed per hole, right? As you can see there, that's one seed. Okay, just like that. So now that we've done this, we'll just use this little pencil and push it just a tad down, right? Not too far down, right? And this is basically what it looks like now. So what we're going to do is we're going to put back our lid, right here, like that, to cover it. Okay, this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow the nutrient solution to just to run for a bit, seeing that I just planted the seeds into the plug. The plugs, they are moist, right? So it's not like they are totally dry, but I'm going to still kind of charge the plug so that the seeds can actually interact with some amount of moisture, right? So as you can see, this is what it looks like operating, right? And look inside here, you see the water, the nutrient solution, sorry, because it's not water alone, it has fertilizer in it, so we call it a nutrient solution. So I should pull this out, you will see. Okay, so this is basically the end of the second video in the series, and as you can see, we have basically assembled the system and we have basically planted our seeds. So in the next video, we are going to basically just look at the progress, any progress that we are seeing. So I think the next progress is going to be the seeds germinating. So when the seeds have germinated, I'll do another video and we'll talk through it and so on. So I hope you are following, I hope you have assembled your system already and growing and having us grow together. With that said, please remember to subscribe to the channel and share the video to a friend, and please remember to like the video as well.